Hello, Farmy friends. This is Genevieve, Community Outreach Director here at Garden City Harvest, and Ruth Crystal, who's our relatively new since October, an admin coordinator at the office, and also CSA mastermind behind some of the CSA stuff we're doing this year. And we are here at Orchard Gardens Neighborhood Farm. We're right in front of the greenhouse, which is right this way. And you can see Reserve Street out in the background and some kale also in the background among the snowy fields, because it's still pretty snowy, but believe it or not, that is going to be filled with food in a relatively few short months. And because of that, we have fired up the greenhouse just yesterday, right here, and we will be filling it with all the baby plants that will then become the food that we give to the food bank, youth homes, and many 9 or so different organizations around town. And we will also be growing it for CSA members. So if you want to be part of that program, you want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. We still have several shares open. We have 4 main farms. They're going fast. So if you want some fresh local food all summer long, all the way until October, then give us a call, send us an email, and sign up. Half shares are $3.25 and full shares are $5.25. Wow. So give us a call if you want some delicious food from Garden City Harvest.
And without further ado, let me check my list. But yeah, we're going to head into this greenhouse where we grow 3 of our 4 farms. All of their starts grow in here. So let's go inside. And right now, there's not very much food growing in here because they just started. You can see them through the amazing, beautiful tarps, but we have some soil being mixed right down here, and then we're going to head over and talk to Greg and the gang. Hi guys.
Should be funny. No cursing.
It's hot in here.
It's hot in here. It is hot in here. I'm about ready to shed some clothing.
I know. I'm gonna have to take my jacket off, it's so hot. Yeah, so Maria's coming on over, she's behind the camera. So guys, I have a few questions for you while you're planting. What are you planting, first of all? What's in there?
We are planting peppers. So sweet peppers, hot peppers, all kinds of peppers. A bunch of it's our seed that we've been saving for years. These guys will take about 15 to 20 days to germinate, and then we won't be eating them until August.
And when will they go on the ground?
They'll go on the ground early June, after it's safely past the first frost.
Cool. So what, can you just...
She's planting something different.
Oh yeah, Sam's over
Don't
here.
forget about Samantha.
What's Sam planting?
I'm planting mini onions.
Mini onions. So tell us a little bit about mini onions.
We planted in 72 cell trays and about 5 to 10 mini onions per tray, and then they'll get transplanted out into like a grid on the field. And they'll be close to some of the first stuff that we harvest along with scallions as far as our alliums go.
Can you show us one of the seeds? You can get in there, get a little close up. It's always amazing to me that something that tiny is going to grow into something you can eat.
Yeah. And these are more like a pearl size onion, so they'll end up like the size of a quarter in diameter.
Cool. Yeah. So, can you guys describe how it feels in here right now? Is it nice and cold?
It's pretty warm in here.
Warm.
We got up to
Neo-tropical.
There's a certain smell too.
Yeah.
It's just
definitely
It does.
greenhouse smell.
yeah,
Yeah.
rich.
Especially
earthy.
juxtaposed with what's outside, right? You come in here and you're like, oh, yeah, I smell soil, and yeah, it's warm. It's at 90 degrees yesterday in full sun.
Yeah.
Then it was about 40 degrees outside, so it's a 50-degree difference inside here.
There's
Wait,
relatively few plants in here right now. How many will there be at the peak? Because you're growing for like 3 of the 4 farms that we have, right?
Yeah. Well, as far as seeds that have been planted, there are thousands and thousands of seeds that have already been planted.
right now.
Yeah, so you figure all the onions, I mean, we planted 70-something of those flats of onions. And that's going to translate into 16,000 pounds of onions later in the field, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Crazy.
What's cool about the onions is you're still eating onions that were planted this time last year. So you have that huge overlap. We'll be eating onions past when they end up back in the ground, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, and you still have onions that you're storing for, is it the food bank?
Yeah, to sell to the good food store eventually.
Yeah. So
Which
we
is
still
coming
have
up soon.
storage onions up on the top of the
Absolutely,
roof.
yeah.
And when do you put these in the ground?
The onions they're the first thing that comes out of the greenhouse, so early May.
And is that a good time to start volunteering?
That is the perfect time to start volunteering. That is the cue for volunteers, yes.
Early
Onion
May.
planting, absolutely.
I will also mention, just a little plug, that if you want to volunteer, you can sign up on our email listserv and we will notify you when it's time. So what's your favorite part of the greenhouse? I want everybody to answer this one. What's your favorite part of greenhouse growing season? I'm sure
I like that it's slow, delicate work. I think it's a really nice way to start out the season. Really paying attention to what we're doing here and getting kind of a slow start to what ends up being a lot more fast-paced once things heat up and are in the ground.
Right, because this was going to happen last week, but it was so single digits at
Yep.
night still, so we couldn't quite fire it up.
Yeah.
Right, which is why we're planting onions at the same time as we're planting peppers. Normally we would have done onions a week ago,
Okay.
but it just wasn't reasonable with all the lows and with the nighttime temperatures being so cold. And, we're cranking a bunch of gas in here to gas-powered heat to warm this place up at night. It was 19 degrees last night. Thermostat set at 40. We probably went through about 3% of a tank of gas
Wow.
in a night like that, something like that.
Okay.
So it's just something that, and we can flex, so we did. Onions give you a little bit of flex time, so.
So what's your favorite part of the greenhouse?
I have to kind of concur with what Kaya said. Like, I like the way that we ease into the season. Like, so this week, we're working 20 hours or so, getting, a little acclimated, and it'll pick up. And if there wasn't snow on the ground, we'd have more to do outside too, but with the snow on the ground, we're a little bit delayed with outside projects.
Sure.
But I like the way we ease into things, because you're coming off of winter, most of us aren't working very much in the winter time, so it's good to be able to kind of ease back into it, because also, as Kaya mentioned, it gets pretty intense from May to October. It's full on 45, 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
So
It's a little crazy from here on out.
yeah, so it's nice to be able to ease into it. I always, and it doesn't sound very good, but I mean it kind of jokingly, but I always think of it as tethers. Like, each time you put something more in the soil, that's the first tether, because now there's something that has to be taken care of every single day. So somebody has to be here every day now as soon as you put seeds. And then that happens again when you go to put stuff in the ground for the first time. Then it's like, okay, now we've got seeds in the ground, got to be here every day to water those seeds. So it just gets, and then eventually you have so much stuff to take care of that lots of us are there every day.
What about you, Ian? What's your favorite part of the greenhouse season?
Definitely concur with what they said, but getting dirty, that's the best part.
Mixing the soil,
Yeah.
getting it in the trays,
Yep.
getting it under your fingernails.
Totally up your nose, everywhere. Yep.
Greenhouse boogers.
Oh man,
Yeah.
they're more like black house booger. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're black. There's so much dirt up there.
Awesome description.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, favorite
Yeah.
part of the
So,
greenhouse
yeah.
season?
I think it's just like kind of a hopeful time of the year. Like,
Yeah.
I think everybody feels really burnt out at the end of the season, and by the time greenhouse season rolls around, I feel like I'm like ready to plant seeds. Like, I feel really excited about the season. And then it's also kind of the one time a year we all get to socialize once a week. We come here on Mondays and all plant together, and we get to check in with each other and like get excited about the season together. And once greenhouse season ends, we all kind of are on our respective islands of our farms and usually really busy, so it's nice to like get to see everybody again in the spring after, you know, not checking in with people for a few months.
Totally.
Yeah.
I love that. So, do you have a least favorite part?
Like Greg was saying,
Yeah,
having
each
to be
other.
here every day, you know, it's nice because the 3 farms do the greenhouse together, so we split the responsibility, but it means a lot of, you know, you start losing weekend time and just flexibility, and once it really gets going and the weather warms up, somebody will have to be here at like 8 at night to close it up, so just like losing a little bit of freedom,
Yeah.
but
You guys really care about these plants.
other than that, yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty lovely to be in here. The 50-degree temperature difference is quite nice.
Yeah. Cool. Well, those are all my questions. Ruth, did you have any questions?
Pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. Do you guys have any closing thoughts that you'd like to give our viewers?
Come and volunteer in May. These plants all have to go on the ground.
Cool.
The more the merrier.
Well, thank you guys for sharing a little of your greenhouse time with us.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see some of you out on the farm here or River Road, Youth Farm, or the Peas Farm for CSA this summer. We still have shares left. And we will see you next time next week at the Peas Farm at their greenhouse. Thanks for joining me. Us.